Hello everyone, welcome to the Garage Dad channel. I'm Dave. Today we're going to be installing some fog lights on my 2018 Type R. And before we do, I just want to show a quick modification when using the Diode Dynamics fog lights. Since they use a Diode style connector on their fog lights, they converted then to a H11, but on the 10th generation SI and Type Rs, they use a special connector. So you would need to buy a conversion kit, which is just what I did. But in my case, I want to eliminate the amount of connections I have to make before providing power to the fog light itself. So I will show you real quick how to just quickly pull this H11 connector out and directly connect the Honda plug to this assembly. Let's get started. All right, to get started, we need to pull out the H11 connector from the Diode connector. So first, you'll take a flathead screwdriver and pry out this orange wedge lock out of this connector. What you're gonna do is just slide it in between the wedge lock itself and the body of the connector, and then just pry it out. Then you're going to see inside here some tabs that you need to pull back to be able to remove the connector itself. And the way we're going to do that is putting a little bit of tension on the wires as we open up the tabs. So with my back fingers pulling some tension on the wire, I'm just going to quickly open up those tabs. Now they're gone, I can go ahead and slide it out. There we go. In order to do this, you're going to need a set of Diode barrels. Now the ones that I have are a closed style barrel, so you actually need to be able to crimp them. And you can get this crimping tool off Amazon. Going to grab the converter and cut off the H11 connector. And all you need to strip off is about 1/4 of an inch off each wire. There are some different crimp style connectors, and for those you would need to get the appropriate crimpers. For mine, all I need to do is just slide it over the wire, insert it into the crimper, and crimp. I have a secure wire connection now. Fortunately, Honda's wiring harness had black as ground, so it worked out to be pretty easy, and I verified that by hooking up all the connections together and just turning on the fog lights to trace back the wire to make sure I was correct in that. Then you'll place your positive in pin 1, and on the back of these connectors you can see they actually have numbers associated with the pins, and you're simply just going to push firmly until these pins get seated in their place. Place the wedge lock back in, and there you go. Okay, now for the disassembly. What's nice about the Type Rs is that they have these vents here, so all I need to do is just reach behind and push on the tabs that hold them in. Alrighty, just keep working my way towards the front. Alright, once I have that all the way popped off, there is a little clip. If you've ever taken these off, it's all the way in the corner, down at the bottom, towards the inside of the vehicle, that you just have to quickly pop off. Now we are going to remove the factory fog light from its location. One thing before trying to install this light that you need to be aware of is that one of the holes on the factory fog light has like a keyhole pattern to it, while the aftermarket Diode Dynamics does not. So all I'm going to do is just quickly cut off a little notch in it to make it fit. While we have the fog light out as well, we're gonna go ahead and just connect the harness to it. And for these lights, they actually come with an amber style daylight running light that just glows whenever your headlights are on and your fog lights are off. So this is the wire that activates that, and I'm just gonna connect it to my side markers. So you're just gonna pass this through. Also forgot to mention, make sure that your tires are turned in opposite of the way that you're working on. Okay, now that I have a little bit more space, I was able to reach in and just grab the wire from the other side. Now we're gonna go ahead and remove the side marker. Now for the side marker wiring, there's two wires. Black is ground and the other color is positive. Okay, so I want to show real quick how to connect the power for the amber backlighting of the fog light. There are two different ways to do this. You can use the wire tap method that they provide you in their kit. I myself am not a big fan of this, so I chose to go a different way, but I'll show you how to do it if you were to go this route. Simply place your wire on the tap, make sure it's right there in the center, then you would just press it together. Okay, now you can see that it's fully seated in. Once you have that, you would just attach their wire. There you go, that's how you would do it with the wire tap method. Method number two. Okay, now that we're done making the connections, we're just gonna reach in, connect it to the fog light, and press firmly. Because of the gasket that the connector has, it's gonna feel a little tough to push in. Alright, I believe that is locked in place. And like I said, I'm just gonna cut a little spot to fit in that keyhole style on this car. Oops. And that's okay. Honestly, I only need to, on the other side it worked a little better. Unfortunately, it's just a little too fragile. But still, good fit, fits around the plug anyway. Before putting that panel back on, I'm going to make sure that they light up as they should with the daylight running lights on first. Now we're going to turn the fog lights on. Now before starting this, I put some tape measurements against the wall where the factory fog lights hit. Now I wanted to show those two blue pieces of tape. The car is at an angle in my garage, so one side is gonna naturally look a little higher than the other. And I would say at most it's about an inch higher than what the factory was, and I'm okay with that. Okay, now we can put the car back together. Thank you for watching my installation video. If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe. I'll be uploading a unboxing and initial driving impressions of these lights later on. And as far as the installation goes, it was super quick. Honestly, if it wasn't for the recording and the harness modification, it probably would have taken me around an hour or so. Overall, really easy. The lights came out looking great. The amber backlight feature is really cool, it's something different. and I'm just excited to start driving with them around. Catch you on the next one.